Hi, thanks for joining. I'm going to share an update on our HPE Hybrid Cloud Data Storage Infrastructure Solutions for financial services. I'll highlight offerings that we have that are particularly relevant for the financial services industry, also some AI related information regarding those solutions, and then I'll actually share a little bit of a demo at the end, and then share some resources as to like where you get more information. So first off, big things that are shaping the industry when it comes to IT. I can highlight a few things. One is that AI is everywhere. No surprise here. It's moved really from pilots to core operating infrastructure, and AI is now powering credit decisions, fraud detection, compliance, customer service, and we're seeing a rise in agentic AI, so AI applications working with other AI applications. So it's not just about efficiency; it's really about defining the whole customer experience. Conversational digital experiences. Actually, I'll show a little bit of that in the demo. Really bringing this from the arcane to natural language type interactions. Real-time payments, tokenization, seeing a lot of this in the industry, and especially with big partners of ours like Swift. A lot going on in tokenization and international payment transactions. And then finally, security. Security is a real important part, and you'll see vendors like us rolling out products with zero trust architectures, and just in general being supportive of a lot of uses around things like fraud detection, which we'll talk about, and other data security uses. So a few products that are of particular importance for the financial services industry from the hybrid cloud portfolio. First off, HPE PCAI, or Private Cloud AI. This is really an AI optimized private cloud offering. It allows you to scale easily, accelerate data science productivity. We co-engineered it with NVIDIA, and it's really all about accelerating those AI deployments, protecting from risk, optimizing long-term AI costs. And it's really a private cloud offering really optimized for AI use. And then a couple of components or products that have been used on their own for some time. Electric Storage MP B10000. This is our mission critical disaggregated scale out block storage product. Some things that really make it stand out is the 100% data availability, as well as other guaranteed outcomes that we have available with this product. And then a related solution, but really aimed at object storage, is our Electric Storage MP X10000. So this really allows you to use data intelligence and performance at scale to manage unstructured data. And we see this driving innovation and accelerating time to value for our customers and partners. And one of the key use cases for this actually would be fraud detection and prevention, as well as other related financial services uses like risk management and analyzing alternative data sets, etc. And I said to talk about AI. So PCAI, if we just look at that product for a moment, as I said, it's private cloud infrastructure for AI use. Lots of different usage of this product in terms of use cases as well as industry uses. You can see a few laid out here. And what I want to do is really kind of zero in on the ones relating to financial services for this little highlight, with fraud detection being one of the key uses, as I kind of mentioned. Okay, so I mentioned we'll do a little fraud detection demo. Let's first set up the situation. So first off, fraud detection is definitely not something new. It's been being done by the industry for quite some time. Very valuable activity, and IT, technology has been used to automate and speed up this process, especially as financial services or financial transactions have become more digitized and now online. Okay, so you would use these models for anomaly detection, churn prediction, predictive maintenance, etc. But they traditionally have been like the realm of the expert. And so what we want to do is kind of set up a situation where we can actually evolve that to be more accessible. So here you start with the initial detection capability, traditional machine learning, already pretty accurate. Here you can see the output of a model called XGBoost, leading machine learning algorithm for fraud detection. But unless you're an expert, you really wouldn't know what that data meant, what that output meant. Now, what we could do is you could enrich it with a graph database. So help visualize how the data is related to each other. Look for anomalies, things that kind of stand out from the rest of the data set. But once again, even that would require a trained eye, and also in order to be able to do something in a timely manner. So what we want to do is show an example of being able to use a large language model to help explain the output, to take that same output, same value, and then be able to have a totally human agent or just a non-expert, in essence, be able to interact with that data and get some useful output from it. Okay, so here we go. Here's our actual demo. It's a recording, but I'll talk through it. And it'll just run for a little bit. So let me just kind of explain what's going on in this recorded demo. As I said, imagine it's still built on that same model to be able to access data around or be able to do execute fraud detection on some data set. But here we want to be able to enable natural language interaction. So you can see there was a prompt, and that person that did the prompt could have been someone, could have been an expert, but could have just been someone in management, some line of business person. They're just doing a natural language input as any of us would in, by using ChatGPT, for instance. But here the large language model is going through and doing the analysis and actually showing how it's stepping through that. And then it's going to provide some output, which is going to look kind of familiar to any of us who's been doing ChatGPT usage, but in this case, it's specific to this query on this data set. And then the demo actually kind of continues, and then I'll just shows how this same person could go through now and ask questions specific to something more about specific to card use or specific to merchants involved in these transactions. And so you could be going through and mining that same data set. But once again, there's nothing here that really implies that this person is necessarily some sort of really expert analyst. It's probably someone who understands the business and has questions about, in this case, fraud, potential fraud. Where should they be looking in order to try to uncover, show bad transactions or fraudulent card users or merchants that are, for whatever reason, are being involved, like electronics, someone selling Dell laptops or something that are being used in fraudulent transactions, more than the average. And that's basically the idea here. It's being able to take something that in the past had been really the realm of an expert and really make that data set more accessible and make this process really more broadly accessible throughout the organization. And I believe this is what we're seeing now in not only across our financial services industry and our partners there, but also seeing it in a broader sense really across a number of different industries and a number of different partners and customers. So then I just want to share a little bit of an example of a customer win. This really isn't specific to AI, but it's a customer we worked with in the past, Showbrook, and it's a financial services success where they're able to implement our hybrid cloud infrastructure to deliver value. In this case, really specific to improving the customer services, system performance, cost efficiency. It actually was a larger deployment that involved not only hybrid cloud products, but also products from a broader HPE product set. And here you can get a view of just really just the solution, just all the different HPE products involved in the solution. Specifically, one of the ones that we're talking a lot about these days, our HPE Electra Storage MPB 10,000. As I said, it's delivering great performance as well as guaranteed outcomes for customers, and that was a key part of this solution, specifically when it comes down to one of the aspects that the customer cared about, which was data efficiency. You can see in this case it was really the thing that enabled that 26-to-1 dedupe ratio. So just really amazing data efficiency, getting a lot more effective use out of the capacity that they paid for. And just as you can see called out here, we actually have a case study as well as video available online on this customer win. In terms of getting more information about what we're doing here, and whether it's for financial services or really across the board, hybrid cloud solutions from HPE are really solving a lot of customer problems We have, as you can see, links to a lot of different publications we've done, in this case related to financial services, links to our products, B10000, X10000, the PCAI, as we talked about, as well as a couple of related customer wins here. These are all Googleable. Go to our webpage, sift through either the product sections or the customer success area in order to get more info. And with that, thank you for your time.